So if that was your first time hearing about the four different credit scores, this is where you need to be on Tuesday. And if it's Taco Tuesday, get you some taco, get you some tequila, get you some water or whatever, and just sit here for these, and listen to us give you some tips. Absolutely.
Yeah, can I add something to that?
All right, so, again, let's preface this. We just started recording for the other side. We were talking about our recap of last week about cash flow management. Ms. Burton just brought to us the line: 3 down, 1 up. Get your taxes down, get your debt down, the bills down, credit score up for improving cash flow. Ms. Bartlett.
Yeah, I just want to ask the audience, does your money come in fast and leave even faster?
We've all been there. We've all been there.
Right. It feels like your bills get, your money first, like taxes get your money, all these expenses get your money first. Because most people, they focus on income thinking, oh, I make all this money. But it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep. Right? It's simple. You have to keep your money and have it on repeat. Cash flow is always about how much you keep. But how do we fix it? People just know we have to lower. People just know we have to lower our taxes. We have to eliminate our debt.
Eliminate.
Yes, eliminate it. Get rid of it.
Don't the right way.
The right way, So we have to. That's what cash flow management is. Okay, it's not magic. It's intentional on the things that you do to keep it in this proper perspective.
I love it.
Love it. So the major thing is, man, this is week 2. What week is this, y'all?
Week 2.
Week two. That's gonna be a great thumbnail. Right, but nonetheless, is cash asset is the number 2 thing that most people have to focus on. Let's just take this formula in itself. Is it safe to say amazing workers in the world actually take their good hard on 40 hours a week, right? Money, and then put it straight into an investment? Yep. Is it safe to say we know some people who do that?
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Is there any challenge in doing that? Meaning you skip the asset accumulation part and you do cash. Can I share any challenges about putting money straight into investments?
You're saying instead of cash, skipping the investment side of it?
Skipping the asset side of it.
Yeah. People do that every day. They take their cash and they take it to these places called, I'm not going to name the bank, but you have to run and it's a whatever. Right. And then some people take their money to this place called, we're just gonna call it Wells Fargo, and they deposit cash into, a cash savings account. That part of it is, it's not quite, now most financial people say that's almost just like putting your money in a coffee cup.
Or under the bed.
A coffee pen, up under the bed. All those great little hiding places. Because, Bernard, during this time of the year, they're going to send you a statement, and that statement, I don't know, a lot of places right now are giving a great return on your investment. So the part of you saying, the brilliant part is, let's take this cash, if I am working a 9 to 5, and put it into an asset. So I'm gonna pause right there because I know that's tonight's topic, and I want to hear from, of course, you and Monifa, of what strategies do we as investors, smart investors, do we take to make that asset make us more money?
Cool. And I'm just asking from the simple fact of, if we're
You froze.
And I don't know if am I frozen. Y'all good? Can y'all hear me, see me?
I'm frozen.
Probably not. Can y'all?
Yeah,
I froze. Can y'all hear me, see me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, cool. If the formula says take your cash and put it into your asset, and then your asset produces cash flow, I think the mindset of what I've been talking with some people about is it safe to say that investment income is risky?
Absolutely.
Right? If we put money into the stock market, into Bitcoin, yes, is it safe to say that can lose all at one time?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So most financial advisors wouldn't advise somebody to say, take the money from your job, right? that's supposed to be helping you lower your taxes, the money you're supposed to be putting on your bills, the money that you're supposed to be putting on your debt or improving your credit with, and putting it straight into an investment that may lose in 22 seconds, right? The formula says that's why we're here in week 2 is to talk about assets and business income. Please write that out everywhere in the comment section. Everybody write that in the comment section. If you hear us on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you seeing this, put assets and business income. It's nothing wrong with investment income if you have assets and business income funding the investments. Is that safe to say?
Yes.
Because investments are risky, right? So if we're going to play the game, we want to play the game the right way, right? Assets, things that produce income. What's the opposite of assets?
A liability.
Liabilities. Liabilities take money away from your pockets. Assets put money in your pockets. One thing, I'm gonna let you guys kind of take your turn with the subject of assets before we hop into the other one. But when I think about assets, I think about personal power. I think about your own personal skill sets. I think about services and products of your own. Is that safe kind of to say?
Absolutely.
One of the things is the service. I'm gonna promote my business. Y'all promote y'all as y'all want, right? But as a man, I feel like every man should have some kind of skill set. I want somebody to put assets equal skill sets, because some people think that building a business is harder than saying, "Man, I love doing this." Whatever it is that you do, right? I didn't want to directly in this season go towards mechanics or construction, so I went and got me certification and license as a neuromuscular therapist to be able to do massages. We got a team of 10 female and male massage therapists in Atlanta, right? So now I've learned a skill set that can yield me $2, $3, $4, $5,000 every single month with my own personal power. See, the beautiful thing about an asset is that most people can't take it away from you. See, the thing is that when the government shut down, can I still do massages?
Yes.
When the COVID happened, can I get me some what is it called, Lysol, and make sure I send my skill set can still make me money despite what the government is doing. Is this making sense? And then can I say legally?
Yes.
Right?
Legally.
So I want to encourage more people, because y'all know my company's called Become Your Own CEO. And this asset business income thing is something that touched my heart every single day, because I've been an employee before and they threatened to let us go. Don't JOB stand for just on bills?
Just over broke.
It's many days I've been living check to check, right? So I just needed another way to be able to secure my income for my child, for my legacy, for my family when they need whatever they need. Is that so I'm gonna focus on building businesses. Y'all got anything on assets? Go ahead.
Talking about that, about focus. Why don't more people focus on assets? You know, because liabilities, they look good today, but assets look good forever.
I want to pause right here because I do know our Facebook side is really lit up. So I know early on some people may have been on. I want to make sure everybody that's watching us live on Facebook, first of all, let us know where you're checking in from.
Hi, Mom.
Second, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them. I am monitoring them. And before we get off, we're going to make sure we answer those questions. So, that's for the Facebook family.
Appreciate that. Monifa said something too just then. I didn't want to lose it. Is that she reminded me that some people don't do cash asset cash flow. Some people do cash trash.
Yep,
trash.
And I think that's what she was saying with liabilities.
Yeah, that's what made me think of it.
They take the money, and there's nothing wrong with just, let's say you got a job. Man, most people are broke by Monday after they get their check on Friday.
Yep.
It's the truth. That's why they robbed Peter to pay Paul, right? That's a whole thing, because we get our checks and then we go spend it on things that don't bring us nothing back.
Yes, I have a client right now has a limited edition Porsche. When she drove it off the lot, it was $165.
Yep.
Didn't get to ask what was the note. So even if you're thinking that car note has to be in excess, depending on credit, at least $2,500 to $3,000 a month.
$2,000 at least.
So when you think of cash asset, most people think, okay, you're driving good because you got a really, really nice car, and that's an asset. However, what Monifa just explained, let's break this down in layman's terms because we're using words. Honestly, a lot of people don't know, they know cash. But when you're talking assets, Mr. Ponder, Ms. Bartley, a lot of people don't know what assets are. So let's break this term down. Okay, car. Okay, most cars are, liability unless you're doing something with that car to make more money, to make the cash flow. Prime example. I don't want to use the Porsche, for instance. $3,000 a month for a car, that's insane. However, with no business, and when you come, you're like, I owe taxes. Absolutely. So let's break down the cash, okay? Like you said, I work at, give me a place where I'm working at. I don't know. I
was a manager of an Avis before.
Okay. I work right now at an Avis, and I make I don't know, whatever per hour, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my money and I'm gonna purchase me a Toyota Corolla, right?
Okay. Cash
Toyota Corolla, right? I'm not going to drive it every day because you know what? I have a Honda Accord. It's like a 2015 that's paid off. I'm going to take this this Toyota Corolla that I just bought, and I'm going to put it on, let's say, Turo. Do y'all realize that every time Turo pays me now, I have something called cash flow? So although, yes, you're saying, Sandra, I have a car note. Yes, the person has insurance. Yes. However, is it safe to say if that car is rented out enough, it's going to cover that car note, it's going to cover the insurance, and now I have money left over. So what we're saying is when you spend your money, it depends on what you're spending your money on. So when Ms. Bartley said some people take their cash and they buy trash, now if I take this car and I'll park it and I still have that car note, I still have that insurance, believe it or not, now that is what we're talking about, trash. So when you go and buy like designer luxury things, I'm not saying, people don't work for nice things. However, if you started buying too many nice things, you're going to be in that boat where you said, I got debt. Yes. Because guess what? Those assets now have turned to what? Liabilities.
Liabilities by default.
Absolutely. So that is all we're saying. And Mr. Ponder, I did before the Zoom, you asked me, it was just like, okay, Sandra or Monifa, y'all, this is the topic for the day. So I literally did some statistical work. I did my little Google. I didn't use ChatGPT. Shout out to ChatGPT. If you're not using ChatGPT, what are you doing? Really? You're missing out. So I told.
Look. It's an asset.
Absolutely.
It definitely produces money. Make sure you
say that.
So you guys, and we're in this Christmas season. Y'all see all of the Christmas things behind us. I asked Google, I said, right now, give me the top 5 cash asset producing cash flow right now. Y'all want to know what they are? Because, I always bring this to this.
Absolutely. Let's get it.
Google told me the number one cash producing flow is right now is Uber. So for those of you that are looking for these small jobs, going in, trying to go work at these places, asking them to hire you tomorrow, you're missing out. Because Uber is self. So that means you go on an app. I'm using my smartphone, right? I applied, and they're saying that is the number one overall earning potential app that's out there.
Wow.
The second one, believe it or not, don't be confused, is Lyft. They're kind of like in, a little competition.
Ride sharing. Ride sharing. Right?
Yes. The third one is, I kind of already gave that one away, is Turo. So for those of you that own multiple cars and that other car is sitting under the garage, you better open your phone and check into this app called Turo. You could be making some money. Number 4 is DoorDash.
Wow.
And now the last one in our top 5. Can I get a drum roll? Let's make this fun. It's Amazon Flex.
Amazon Flex.
Yes.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. They got a crazy, I almost said the word. They got a crazy wait list. Amazon, if y'all hear me, man, I love driving, man. Y'all put your boy on, man. Flexing out here. My bad. Go ahead.
So in all, what we're saying is Google is saying those are the top 5 resources.
Okay.
So is it safe to say, Mr. Ponder, if I take this Corolla and now I don't drive the Honda, I'm taking the Corolla right now, and I do the number 1 Uber, or I do Lyft, and I drive, and whatever money I get, is it safe to say, because this is probably the lowest Toyota, I think it is right now, because they had one under there. Anyway, is it safe to say for the whole entire month, if I make my car note and I make my insurance, everything else is gravy?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's what they're saying, and that is what we're educating on right now. We're not saying you got to use one of the top 5. However, we're giving you solutions. We're giving you examples on how you can take your cash, produce an asset, and now get some monthly cash flowing into that. So, Mr. Ponder, this cash flow, is it safe to say I can utilize that cash flow to concentrate on those 3 things that I told you are the most problem things when it comes to cash flow management?
Of course. Of course. Of course.
Yeah, but in addition to that, cash flowing things that gives you value over time, like metals, digital assets, businesses, land. Over time, that value will pay you as well.
I want to pause for the cause. We do have some people in the chat.
What are they saying?
It's nothing like family. It's nothing like family. I'm not going to say the name. However, y'all probably can do some due diligence. However, I do have someone that said, "Are you talking about me?" So, this person, there's nothing wrong with it. She's a car person. She's a car person. So when I tell y'all if you can name it, she's had it. Like I kid you not. Range Rovers in our lifetime, I know she's had at least, I want to say at least 5. Wow. Lexus with the trimmed out seats, she's had at least 4. However, now that you're listening, what we're talking now is people that are taking their cash, they're buying maybe the fancier cars, and they're utilizing some of the top 5. I didn't say it, Google said it. So,
and you know, one of the things even with that is I've seen people who rent those nice cars, buy those nice cars and put them in movies, right? In Atlanta, it's a big movie scene. People will pay you just to have your car in their video. So now it's not a liability, or it's not costing you money. It's making you money every single month.
And if you get with the right professional or expert tax person that's in Decatur, where it's greater, they're going to actually show you how that asset, even if you don't want to put it on us and you utilize it in one movie a month or year, whatever, how now that can turn into so many write-offs. I want to also shout out, we have someone coming in from Fayetteville, Olive Branch, Mississippi, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and someone from Conyers. So shout out to everybody that's listening.
Appreciate shout out to them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I looked at my Chat GPT. I'm gonna call out my asset because it makes me money. Okay. I asked Chat, and you guys can ask your own Chat. I said, why is it so important to focus on developing assets and making sure you have business income and not just the traditional linear income? Linear income, if you guys don't know, that's typically W-2 type money, meaning if you go to work, you get paid. Right? But if you don't go to work, there's no check. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about more so residual income, more so leverage income. Make sure somebody put that in the comment. I need more residual income. I need more leverage income. Residual income is customers. If you guys are thinking on a business mindset, leverage income is more partners. You guys want to build partners. You guys want to build an executive team when you're talking about building a business for your service, because 9 times out of 10, if you build a business, you're the creative mind of the services and products and the person with the skills. So you need to hire you an accountant like a Ms. Burton, or a marketing director like myself or Ms. Bartley, right, to help you fund and promote your business. But here are 7 things. And if you guys are following along in the chat, put this down in the chat when you guys hear these 7, because these are some good reasons to focus on developing assets. Number 1, it says assets produce income without your constant effort. Produce income without effort. Y'all can put that in short. The reason why you want to build business income, it produces income without effort. Number 2, business income has no ceiling. Oh my God, that's my favorite one. If there's no limit on, let's say for instance my coaching program or my massage practice, there's no limit on how many clients I can work with in a month. This is what my mentor said: put your bills on autopilot. Business income allows you to put your bills on autopilot, so you don't have to worry about if you're running late, if Atlanta traffic is every day and you can't
You're
get
your
through.
own boss, literally.
You're your own boss.
Right. The more assets you have, the less you have to depend on your paycheck. I got so excited about saying that for some reason, because that's what I desire. Put them bills on autopilot. Let my assets pay for my toys, you know?
Yeah, I know next week we're going to talk about the emergency fund, but the emergency fund has to do with your monthly expenses. What are all of your monthly expenses times 6 months? So now that gives you a thought process with your executive board team, your financial people, your marketing people to say, okay, cool, I need to be yielding $5,000 a month for my businesses or my assets, right? Number 3, somebody write this down. Both create long-term financial security. Long-term financial security. Again, I told you guys in the beginning of this call, how many people lost their jobs during the pandemic? I think it was like 10 million.
Plenty.
AOB. 10 million. What did those people work from home? That's how we found each other in a home-based business. But most people lost their job. They had to go back to home and start figuring out a way to create some kind of skill. If they didn't shaking a toe line or something for $1. I don't know what people do, but you got to figure out and get creative at that point in time. Right?
Funny you said that. There were some statistics that came out that it was so many women that just literally this year have lost their jobs. However, guess what? The wonderful side of it is most of those women that lost their jobs became instant entrepreneurs. It's nothing like working for someone and getting the talent, getting the experience, getting the knowledge, and now doing it for your own self.
I believe it.
Like that. Mr. Ponder, you're talking now 20, next year makes 29 years. I did that for 23 years. However, for the last 6 years, being an entrepreneur, I'm not going to say it's all gravy. We're not going to say that. I had my ups, I've had my downs, but the part of not having, like you're saying, ask somebody, hey, am I able to take off? Hey, can I go on vacation? Hey, I don't feel well today. So those things, when you're talking about the leverage side of now, actually utilizing your we always call it your intellectual property side of it.
Yep.
And no cap. So you mean to tell me when someone hires me, which we're not knocking anybody that has a 9 to 5, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
However, is it safe to say when you're hired, they said, okay, here's your salary? Most of the time when we're in HR, guess what? That same position and whoever left, we always lower it and offer that person the job. So that we know what it pays, we know what it's worth, but guess what? The person that comes behind you always get paid less. Is it safe to say most people that are in corporate jobs are now like, dang, I need a raise? So as an entrepreneur, do you have to ask for a raise?
No.
So absolutely.
The next one, let's see what the next one is. And I was kind of going to hit on this anyway when we talk about cash, asset, cash flow. Okay. Somebody put this in the comment section. W-2, 1099, investment income. Because some people don't understand cash, asset, cash flow, right? However, W-2 earners are taxed 28 to 33% on every dollar that they get. If you work a W-2, you're automatically in the 30% bracket, tax bracket. We did a little quiz today on that, right? Tax bracket. If you guys are taking part of Certified Platinum Financial Service, you guys got to see our business meetings behind the scenes kind of work. But the thing is that with W-2s, you're taxed at the highest tax bracket, okay? What we share and what we've learned is when you add a 1099 to your book of business in your portfolio, you have the ability to lower your taxes up to 10%. Anybody who files taxes under the 1099 code is taxed generally 18 to 23%. And I share this all the time with people I get a chance to connect and network with. is that you guys keep this in mind, right? Let's say that you on watching this Zoom have a job, and I work the same job you work, W-2. Let's talk codes, right? Me and you both make 100,000 at the job. Woo, right? The law says 30,000 is going to come out off top because Uncle Sam, who we don't know, got to get his cut. However, you watching this Zoom, you have a home business or you have an asset that's starting to produce cash flow and you file your taxes the right way under that code. Now the government is in position to be able to award you a tax break or a tax advantage. And now being we work the same job, they're gonna take 30,000 out of my check, but they're only gonna take about $20,000 out of your check. How many people would like that $10,000 that's been going to Uncle Sam and everywhere else but us?
He's not your uncle. And the thing about that is,
he ain't my uncle. I say that all the time.
You don't look like me. I don't have anybody in my family that wears a top hat and with the big none of that. So absolutely. And Mr. Ponder, the thing about it is on the educational side, because this is Financial Talk Tuesday, even though you saved that $10,000, we don't want you to go to Phipps, which that's a mall here. That's one of our luxury malls. We don't want you now to go and to the Georgia Lottery. The educational side is meet, once again, we're going to keep using these words, with a professional or expert so they can give you expert advice on where to take that $10,000 and what asset you need to actually be able to invest it in so you can have more cash flow.
Oh, look at you tapping into next week's conversation about parking money and investment options. I hear you. So number 4, simply said, tax advantages are significantly better. Building a business or having business income, tax advantages are significantly better. Number 5 is time leverage. Y'all know I talk about time and leverage all the time. If you are in with Robert Kiyosaki, this is a financial talk conversation. If you don't know who Robert Kiyosaki is, make sure you go back and educate yourself on the 4 cash flow quadrants, because he said there's only 4 ways to make money. Employees, then you move to self-employed, business owner, then an investor. However, the key terms in here is residual income and leverage income. We talk about building business income because not one employee alone has residual income or leverage. Keep this in your mind. Residual means customers. If I work a job, I ain't got no customers, do I? The owner of the company has customers. I just work for them, right? I don't have partners when I work my job. The owners have partners and I just work with them. Is that making sense? So when you become self-employed people have residual income, meaning, okay, I may sell, I got hand sanitizer on my desk, right? I got, you may have deodorant, you may have soap or whatever it is that you may start selling, you laughing at me, right?
Weight loss tea.
Whatever it is, right? But you're self-employed. And I'm speaking from Robert Kiyosaki, right? He said, now that you have a service or a product, you're self-employed because you have residual income you can make every single month. However, you're lacking leverage income. This is why I always say, let's become your own CEO, because business owners have people working with them to help you make more money. Most employees either have money on their hands with no time, or you got time on your hands with no money. When you start talking business, you start earning leverage. You start getting residuals. Now you can put time and money in balance on your terms. Absolutely. Number six was compounding works in your favor. Compound interest is everything. It's a book by Darren Hardy. If you guys have never heard about the compound effect, compound money is way better than linear income. And lastly, it gives you control over your financial life. Instead of relying on employers, the economy, layoffs, wage increases, you build your own engine of income, and that's power. Shout out to my ChatGPT, give me some nuggets for this conversation.
Absolutely. It's funny you said that, because on the layoff, I don't know if anybody, matter of fact, anybody in the chat, we've lost a few people. However, we've gained some people. I want to, if you've ever been laid off, how does that feel?
Not good.
Literally, how does that make you feel?
Not good.
Especially Miss Bartley. I don't know if you've ever been laid off. You know, some of us have. Never been like that. Oh my God! All right.
When I was younger, I was head cashier at the supermarket called Western Beef, And I was young. I was hanging out, trying to hang out and come straight to work. Ooh. My boss said one day, he was like, I love you to death. I love you. You are the best. You're good at what you do. But if you're coming late one more time, I'm going to have to let you go.
Was it a bodega? Bodega?
No, it was a supermarket, a big supermarket out here. It's called Western Beef. It was Gal's before, and now it's called Western Beef.
Okay. For those that don't know, I just learned what the bodega was, and she kind of showed me what it was. So that's shout out to people in New York. You don't know about that. So absolutely. Real quick, y'all. So she said she has not been since she was younger. Fun fact: I was laid off on my birthday. She did it on purpose.
What a present!
I was
you wanted to go hang out.
No. For those of you who don't know me, when it comes down to money and financial things, I'm always going to tell the truth. So the owner didn't like the fact that I was the control at the time, and I was, attempting to do budget because that's what you hired me for. It was just too much. So she decided, that they had bought a cake and it had balloons and everything. So I came in because I knew I was gonna get my balloons, my cake, and everything. I was excited, and I thought she was calling me into the office, so they can prepare the cake. So when I came out the office, I have a cake and be like surprise. So I went in there, everything, y'all, it didn't come out. It didn't know. So when I went to my next job and my birthday came, and I was just like, no, y'all, we ain't doing this today. So I just look at seriously. So that was but never again, because right now I'm an entrepreneur. So if anybody,
So is it safe to say, right? I'm a person. My company's called Become Your Own CEO. Is it safe to say that you would encourage definitely younger people? Because I told you guys in the beginning, this calls for students. This call is for employees. This call is for younger military people, younger people who diving straight into business. I started my first business at the age of 22 and been consistent with it. However, somebody write this in the comment section. Transfer learning. Transfer learning. Whatever your company does, the structure of your company, study it. Right? We in our inner circles, we talk about how to create a system of duplication, invest in time learning it, right? A creature of habit. Like, you need to learn what your corporate structure is doing, because one day they may be pink slip. Ain't nobody really saying pink slip no more. However, is it safe to say it's a job? I'm pretty sure somewhere in financing, you learned some of those skills that you can now transition that over to your business and make you very productive and successful. Is it safe to say?
Absolutely. You always put yourself in a position where you can never be fired again. And when I tell you some of the things that I actually learned from that company, I utilize today. When I tell you in a position where a company may have a lot of money or may have no money, you got to think about it. So all of the things that I was able to learn, we're talking about transfer and learning. So when my clients come to sit down with me and then we're talking about products, or we're talking about overseas products, or we're talking about distribution, or we're talking about creating products. For those of you who don't know, accounting, there's a lot of accounting. So that particular company, believe it or not, Mr. Ponder and Ms. Bartley, it's dealing with cost accounting, meaning they have raw materials and all that great stuff. I had never worked at a company like that. However, with this one, now that I've did that, we can take anything, a byproduct, and whatever the end product is. Your girl is back because I was a controller. So by default, all you did was gave me an additional craft on my resume. Absolutely. So this has been exciting.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, I'm gonna get ready to close this out, man. I appreciate what you guys are feeding. The main thing is business income, and we want to make sure that we give you guys a solution type of thing to business income for you guys who are already business owners. If we don't get a chance to speak with you directly, but you get a chance to just listen into a different kind of conversation. Some of you guys are already on winter break, in first week, second week of December already, right? One of my mentors always say, it's only a holiday is only on one day. So why are we taking a whole month off? Right? But I want to actually, we always do this with ourselves because accountability is key in building business. You're in business for yourself. However, you're not in business by yourself. And these are questions at the top of the week we always ask ourselves. And I'm gonna pivot this with a quote from Les Brown. Les Brown's a famous speaker. Shout out to his mama Mammy. Mamie, I can't think of his mama name, but
That's
he
right.
was Mamie, his famous speaker. He said, I'd rather aim high and miss my goal rather than aiming low and hitting it. Right. So as a business owner, I want you guys, somebody write in the comment section, keep the end in mind. You guys going to hear us talk about that a lot next week when we talk about investment income, right? Keep the end in mind. But when it comes to building business income, the number one question you want to ask yourself is, what did I project to earn last week? Number one question. Somebody write that in the comment section. What did I project to earn last week? Is it safe to say if you aim at nothing, you're going to hit it every time?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Question number 2 is, what did you actually earn last week?
Yep.
Isn't business day to day? Isn't business week to week?
Mm-hmm.
And anybody know how Rome was built?
One brick at a time.
One brick at a time. It wasn't built in a day, right, Monifa? But it was
Right.
built. It was built every day. Okay. So the second question is very important because now you have metrics, right? In business, it's a lot of data. It's a lot of analytics that you have to look at when you're developing your company, especially business income. First question says, hey man, how much did you want to make last week? Is it safe to say $1,000 last week in business is a good number to reach out? Absolutely. That's $4,000 a month. You can change somebody's life with that. Definitely if you ain't got to clock in nobody's job for it, right? But now you got to look at the metrics and say, man, how much did I actually make last week? Okay. And if you only made 500 of the 1,000, is it safe to say you should focus on the work that you did do that produced some great income and then duplicate that as well?
Yeah.
So in closing this conversation, and let's hit them right at the right time, man. We want to get them an hour of power. We're going to be out of here, man. But the last question is, how much money do you want to earn this week? And it's Tuesday. It's still kind of early in the week. You got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You got at least 3 or 4 days. You can still close the week out strong, right? Everybody say that. Close the week out strong.
Close the week out strong. We do have a comment before we go.
Close the week out strong.
Someone said personally, Bernard.
Okay.
Don't get jealous because teachers have 2 weeks off.
Hey, when you respect it. I appreciate the teachers, man, because I know they got to deal with them children. I know my amazing daughter. I know y'all have to deal with. Please give teachers 3-4 weeks off. Any teachers on the line? Oh, let's do a vote for getting teachers 3 or 4 weeks off. But in closing, man, we appreciate you guys listening in to our cash flow management conversation last week. It's live on our page. Business income conversation about assets this week. Next week, we'll be talking about investment income. Some of you guys already have investment income. And some of you guys in the chat. We want you guys to come back next Financial Tuesday, about 7:15. Is that safe to say?
Yeah.
7, we be needing to set up some stuff the right way. But about 7:15, y'all come in here, y'all share with us y'all tell us some investment options that you guys have learned about that is amazing, that you guys think people who have assets should store or park their money in some of those places. Monifa, I appreciate you. Ms. Burton, greatly appreciate it. You guys enjoyed this conversation this evening?
Amazing.
Absolutely. And I want to personally ask everybody that's watching us, come back, bring somebody else with you next week. Don't just keep the information. And also, once we go off, share it with somebody you think that will love or need some financial, any of the things that we're talking about in the financial world. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I'm going to share this video recording with you later so you guys can put it on your YouTube channel. You guys share it with your network as well, because business is nothing more than agreements in motion, right? And if you can find your crew, if you can find your circle of people that you guys got some great agreements with, some great synergy and alignment to collaborate with, we did a great job. All right. So until next week, y'all have an amazing time, improve your lifestyle, and definitely focus on your legacy. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Yes, get to that cash asset and cash flow.
Get to it. Bye.